I launched my new Netflix show. I couldn't say too much, and now I can divulge everything. I mean, it's just so exciting, isn't it? Like, who would have thought your girl over here would be going from OnlyFans to Netflix? When I tell you, I kind of went on this not knowing how it was going to be. It was so real, you guys. I was like shaking in my first bear pit. Like, I was so scared, so hot. I've never sweated like that in my life. You're like, oh, do you mind like just walking across a bridge 200 feet in the air, or like, you know, abseiling off a cliff? Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of Dream On Podcast with me, your host, Lottie. I'm back for a solo app. I'm so excited to talk to you guys again because I feel like it's been a minute. Shit's happened. Shit has gone down. So this week has been pretty hectic for me. I launched my new Netflix show, which I was talking about in the last solo app, but I couldn't say too much. And now I can divulge everything because all 8 episodes are now streaming on Netflix all around the world. I mean, it's just so exciting, isn't it? Like, who would have thought your girl over here would be going from OnlyFans to Netflix? Not me, I'll tell you that. But I'm just so happy. I'm so honestly shocked that even Netflix wanted to work with me and give me this opportunity. But I had the best time in Costa Rica, and every single cast member and crew member was just amazing to work with. And we had the premiere on Tuesday night, and it was insane. I didn't actually realize they'd be doing a premiere for it. Like, I genuinely thought, like, because for most like reality shows, like, there's never a premiere for it. It's normally just like a rap party, or like they'll hire out like tape and then be like, right, everyone get drunk. But this was a real premiere at Leicester Square, and I was the star. Yeah, so we had a premiere at Leicester Square. I was wearing a gorgeous white couture gown. I felt like a princess. It was such a great night. And also just being reunited with all of the cast that I worked with. There was Mel B, there was Kola, Zoo, Una, Steph. It was amazing to see everyone again. Unfortunately, Boris couldn't be there because he wasn't allowed in the country, and Shirley Ballas is on tour with Strictly. But everyone else, it was just so amazing to see. And we danced the night away afterwards at the after party, which was really, really fun. And then we ended up going back to the hotel and getting even more drunk in one of our rooms. And I won't divulge that information. Not much happened, to be honest. It's not juicy, really. It was just like, we just all have such a laugh. And like, I've been watching the episodes now kind of from that first episode, and I was really, really nervous at first, even for the premiere, I think, because we actually had the option to watch the first 2 episodes like about a month ago. And I said no, because I was like, I don't want to watch them in case like I see them, I hate it. And I'm like, oh my God, I look so ugly. Like, that was my main concern with it. I wasn't worried about like how the TV show was going to be, because I knew it would be amazing because of production and everything was just incredible. But I was really worried about how I was going to look on it. Like, just my own insecurities. I think I really do, like, I'm so self-critical of my looks. And that's probably why I've gone and got like surgery and done filler and Botox and all of that. Like, in my opinion, like, I just have felt kind of insecure about the way that I look for a very long time. And I was just a bit nervous about it. I actually burp on the show, which is hilarious. There's a moment when I'm in the bear pit and I burp really loudly and I go, sorry guys. I was like, they did me dirty putting that one in. But yeah, no, I was just kind of feeling a bit like, about it, and then watching it on such a big screen at the premiere, I had to face all my fears at once. But I was okay with that. Do you know what? I think I had such an amazing experience, and I won't let like how disgusting I looked in some of those scenes take away from that. Like, some of the scenes I look at and I'm like, oh my God, like, because obviously like we were wearing face paint for some of the challenges. I was like shaking in my first bear pit. Like, I was so scared. And like, when I tell you, I kind of went on this not knowing how it was going to be, like whether it was going to be quite set up, whether it was going to be really real. It was so real, you guys. Like, the going in the bear pit, which is what we do after every challenge. Like, if you haven't watched the show, we get chased by Bear Grylls, basically, which is fucking terrifying. But we do a challenge, and then we do this thing called the bear pit, and then we do a challenge in a bear pit until eventually everyone's gone. And the challenges were difficult in itself. Like, we got split into 2 teams. We had to work against each other. It was a lot, and it was always something terrifying, as you can imagine, with Bear Grylls. If you don't know who Bear Grylls is, get to know because he's an icon. He's done every kind of adventure show you can imagine. He's done SAS, like in terms of like he's actually been in the special forces. He's like just knows everything to do with survival that you could possibly imagine. And he's just a tough guy, really. And so he was kind of trying to shape us up to be tough. So we would do a challenge, which was always something like height. Like, oh, do you mind like just walking across a bridge 200 feet in the air, or like, you know, abseiling off a cliff kind of things. But so we would do that, and then whichever team lost would then have to go in this thing called the bear pit, which is where you get a map, and it's this huge plot of land. Like I'm talking like just rocks and nothingness and just trees and stuff. And in that forest, you have to find an exit in order to escape from him. But all you've got is this crap map at the beginning that literally like, I mean, it wasn't to scale. Like I remember looking at it and being like, right, I've got this. Like, I'll just go up there, easy enough. This map was so not to scale. It was a joke. Like some things would be closer than you thought, and then some things would be way further away than you thought. And even just the concept of being chased to me is like my worst nightmare. Like I have nightmares about people chasing me. So this was like that, but worse. Like you can even see in my first bear pit that I did when I'd lost a challenge, I was shaking. Like I was literally like so terrified. Like I have never felt fear or adrenaline actually like that in my life. And it was so hot there as well. So when you see us like sweating profusely in these challenges, like we had to wear full length black in these bear pits as well. Like literally, honestly, like full length trousers, full length shirt. We had to have a camera on us as well. But then on top of that, we had to wear a ghillie, which was like disguising us, which is just basically like camouflage, and a rucksack on top of that filled with water, and then like whatever supplies you needed. It was so hot. Like I've never sweated like that in my life. Like I would come out of it and my shirt would be stuck to me. And it's an hour of this as well, like bearing in mind, like you'd have to run like 20 minutes there, 20 minutes back. It was insane. Like, I don't know how I managed to actually do it. Like, there were points where I was like, I have to give up. Like, I can't do this, as you will see in the show. But I am so glad I did it. Like, looking back now, when I watch it back, I'm like, I'm insane for actually doing this. And I think if it had been a show before and I'd seen what they had to do, I probably wouldn't have done it. But I'm really glad I did, because I met the most amazing people, worked with the most amazing production crew. Like everyone worked their asses off, and it shows. So yeah, I mean, it was insane. Like living with 12 people as well was so difficult, but so fun, because we got so close. Like it was 24 hours filming, you know, and you know, they're filming us when we're asleep. They're filming us when we wake up in the morning. Like, it was just a lot. Like, you know, and having to be on top of each other all the time. You couldn't get like a minute by yourself. Like, but we in that we managed to form these bonds with each other. That even when we saw each other at the premiere the other day, we all were just like, it was like no time had passed. We're all bonded like brothers and sisters. But I think that happens when you like, we literally would just talk about like. Obviously, we had to like all go to the toilet in the same place. Like things become very like things that you would normally keep private just aren't private anymore. Like we kind of had to like change. Like we had a little changing room, but like people were just, you know what I mean? It was like you get like to the point where you're just like fuck it, like. And yeah, it was just amazing. Like you have to make your own fun as well out there, because we didn't have any phones, no TV, and you don't realize like those distractions. It distracts you from your brain as well. Like, I think, like, I didn't realize how much when I'm in the day, just like on my phone or like whatever. Like, even when I'm hanging out with my friends, I'm like on my phone a little bit, or like there's other distractions. But there was nothing, no distractions, nothing. We didn't even have games. We literally just had to sit and talk to each other. So we got to know each other all super well, got deep very, very, very quickly. I think now that I've done this, I kind of understand like Love Island, why they cry when someone leaves, because it is so intense being with just a group of people for that long. You really do form connections and bonds so quickly. But I'll say like my favorite people on the show, like I loved Una. Me and Una have such a special connection. Like she's Una Healy. I love you, girl. You are an icon, legend, gorgeous girl, like just the sweetest as well. And Shirley Ballas, legend. I mean, obviously, like in the dance community, she's a legend, but she's such a sweet woman. And she kind of acted as like the mum of the group. And Boris Becker was the dad of the group. It was so sad to see Boris go as well so early, because I could tell he just had that fight in him. Like, he's a 3-time Wimbledon world champion, like tennis world champion, and he's won Wimbledon twice at the ages, I might be wrong with this, but he won it at 17 and 18. Like, how insane is that? I don't know if he's won it more than that. He probably has won it more than that. And then Danny Cipriani, love my boy Danny. He's just the cutest. And he's been through very similar things to me in terms of the public eye and being in the press and stuff. So that was just nice to have someone to talk to about those kind of things. Big Zoo, absolute legend. Love him. So cute. Like everyone was so nice. So we all got along so well. And I think we were so lucky with the cast that we all got along like a house on fire. And, there were like little arguments and things like that. But that's going to happen when you're on top of each other for that long. I'm telling you, like when you've never met these people and you go to living with them, it was intense. And it was funny because we actually all met at we'd met a few of each other like just before we'd gone in there. But when we actually like properly first met, it was like we were just getting along so nice. We're like, we love each other. And then there was a few little tiffs and stuff here and there. But there was nothing bad that happened. It was just like, the little arguments. Like I got in an argument with Collar because I thought he was really grumpy when he lost the challenges. Like, it was silly shit like that you just like, you would never normally argue with anyone about, but because you have nothing else to distract yourself with, like your brain goes wild. I think as well for me, like I wanted to go in there and kind of change as a person and learn things about myself and just push myself, because I've always been very doubtful of myself and like just... I think everyone, I don't know if people have seen, but like there's a lot of stuff about me in the press and stuff. And I've always grown up kind of reading these articles and believing them about myself. And, because when enough people say it, like you're trash, you're this, you're that, you kind of start to just think, maybe I am. And I have had some really dark moments because of the press and because of how I felt about myself. And like going in here, I wanted to prove to myself, like I am worthy, like I can push myself, like I can achieve great things. And girl, I got to the end. Hey, I bet you, everyone in there thought I was going to go out like first. And it's funny because I watched the first episode and Zoo in it. He's like, I got stuck with Lottie for the challenge. Like, it's going to be a nightmare. Like, she thinks she's on holiday. Mate, guess who literally won almost every challenge? Like, me. Like, guess who got to the end? Me. Like, so I'm very proud of myself for my efforts in there. And I hope you guys all really enjoy watching it because I loved filming it. And I think it really shows a different side to me that if people don't listen to this podcast, I think you don't know me very well. Like, I think this has given me a great outlet to let you guys know who I am and what I stand for. And I think I really just was myself in there. Like at the beginning when I went in, I really was not in a good place. And I just got to be myself in there, like without any phone, without any like distractions, like just complete and utter support from the people in there. Everyone was so supportive of each other in there. I just kind of like learned to love myself again in there. And I'll always be grateful for Bear Grylls and Netflix for like giving me the opportunity and Workerbee as well, the production team, because it was just like, I honestly don't think I'd be here today with my own podcast or the person I am today without having gone on this show. And yeah. Oh my God. Okay. So there was a challenge. This is so funny. So there was a challenge that we had to do where we had to, and you guys will see it. I think it's kind of later on in the series. It might be like episode 6, I think. And it sounds ridiculous, like even saying it out loud, because I got to this challenge and I thought, you've got to be having a laugh. It was on the edge of a cliff. And I thought, of course it is. Yeah, that makes sense. We're on the edge of a cliff. And it looked like, right, so there was this parachute that had landed and all of these bags were hanging off the cliff. Funny that. We had to go retrieve them. So I had to walk off this cliff basically and literally just go onto these planks. So there was like planks and each plank had a timer and one bag hanging down, and I had to collect all of the bags before the timer ran out. And the first plank would stay up, like they would fall basically after a certain amount of seconds. First one was 60. Next one was like 40. Next one was like 30, 20, and then 10. So basically we had like a certain amount of seconds for each one. As soon as we stepped on one, that the timer would start, and then we had to try and unhook it. When I tell you, and the communication was awful because basically it was 3 of us in a team. So one person would be down there. I chose to do that. God knows why, like hang off the edge of a cliff with a harness on. And I literally, the drop was insane. You guys will see it if you watch. It was, I don't even know, I think it was like almost 100 feet in the air or something. And oh God, it's giving me heart palpitations talking about it. And so one person stood at the top and would say like how much rope I needed to like get it to where I could like basically get the little bean bag off the thing and put it in my pocket. And the other person would be letting the rope go because it was like 20 different ropes. We didn't know which one was which. It's a very hard challenge to explain. But anyway, so basically we did this challenge. I had, a certain amount of seconds. I'd got to the end. I managed to get most of the bean bags actually, which I'm so proud of. And then basically when you're on the last one, they drop you. And like, it was just like they did this. They basically said like, we're just going to drop you and then we'll lift you back up. Cool. So it drops and I swear, like your life flashes before your eyes. I was like, in the arms of the angel. Like, I swear to God, I literally like life flashes before your eyes. You drop. Obviously this harness like has you. So it like picks you up a little bit. But the harness was so painful. I was in midair flying around like a fucking fairy in the air. And they didn't get me to land for another 5 minutes. Like I was going, hello, like looking around, 25 different people stood there like scratching their asses. I was like, come on then, right? Reel me back in then. Because I'm hanging above this like, 100-foot drop. I'm like, okay, like, hey guys. And something had happened where they couldn't get me in time. They were like trying to do it. Like, it's not their fault. These things happen. But like, I started crying in midair. I started crying with all of the cast and crew watching. I was like, oh my God, it's so painful. Because it was going up my vagina, like this harness was cutting off circulation. Like it was honestly at my foot, what is it called? The febrile artery, or whatever it's called on my leg. Like it was cutting into me. Like I was in so much pain. I should have stuffed it with socks or something, but I just didn't know how painful it was going to be. And I also didn't know I was going to be dangling in the air like a crisp packet for about 5 minutes. So they finally got me in, and the person that got me in was Bear, and I'm like crying to Bear Grylls. I mean, it was so painful. He was like, "Are you okay? You injured?" I was like, "No, it just hurt." I was like, no, it's just really hurt my vagina. Sorry, Bear. But yeah, no, it was like, apart from that, I think the challenges were like, okay. Actually, no, I lied. There was one. The last challenge we did was hellish. Like it was, because it was giving Barry's boot camp. We had to jump off of a really tall, kind of like, it was like a plank basically. And we had to jump off of that into the water. And then we had to swim from there to go and get these things, and then get like a canoe, and then get in the canoe, and then blow the canoe up. And then we had to like get in that. And then we had to like get the canoe across this like I don't know what they're called, rapids. Like, I swear to God, I was canoeing with like rapids with like Joe in my canoe, and we're like dying. Collar couldn't even work the fucking canoe. He has no like sense of like direction, and I don't even know if he knows how to work a canoe, because I didn't find it that hard, but he was struggling. And then turns out he ripped the canoe, so then he had to swim, and we had to wait for him. So that slowed us down massively. But like, I haven't watched the last episode yet, and I'm really worried that they put this scene of me in, and I'm going to find out probably tonight because I'm going to watch it later. But like, I'm really worried they put this scene in, because I can't, like, I'm not a great swimmer, like, at all by any means. Like, when I say I'm not a great swimmer, I mean I'm fucking shit. And I jumped off and I fully drowned. Like, I don't jump off things. I hate water. Like, I hate jumping into like the unknown. So I've never like, I'm not good with water. Like, and I couldn't like hold my nose or anything. So I like just jumped off and I like almost drowned. I almost drowned. Like, I swear, like it was fucking like, and I'm really scared that the cameras got me being like I'm actually really scared they got me like fucking drowning, gasping for air. Like I can't like imagine. Like, I almost don't even want to watch it, because I'm actually like, they've got me drowning on fucking Netflix. And it's so funny because at the beginning of this, I was like, oh, all my haters, like, I'm going to show them, like, I'm on Netflix. Then I saw the camera angles of like they did a study with some of the camera angles like down here. And I'm literally running, like my double chin is in full motion. They've got one of me literally like getting my like eye sleep, wiping it on myself. One of those. Oh, love that. Another one of me burping. Like, I'm like, please stop. Like, what if my exes watch this? Like, what if Bae watches this? What if my Bae watches this? Like, I'm going to cry. I loved doing this, but I would never, ever do anything like this again. Actually, I think if it was like challenge based, I might do. But even watching it back, I'm like, can't believe that these people have to do that. And then I watch it and I'm like, oh, wait, it's me. But I was watching it with my friends last night. I had a little viewing party for just like the girls. And it's so weird. Like the girls were even saying it's so weird that that's you, like on the screen. Like that's like, it does, if to me, it doesn't even feel like me. But yeah, I promise I've gotten sexier since then. Hey, I promise I can do better. I can do better. Like, see me with full beat and glam on. Like, it's a different bitch. Like, don't, like, if for any, like, sexy men and sexy women watching that, like, that ain't me, baby. That ain't me. Like, that was me then. This is me now. Like, give me a chance. But yeah, I honestly, like, I had nothing but like an amazing experience doing it. And I really just hope you guys love watching it as much as I love doing it, because like, yeah, we need to get this. I mean, it's actually #1 in TV shows today in the UK. So that's amazing. But yeah, let's keep it at #1 and keep watching, and watch it if you haven't seen it. Because yeah, it's a very important show to me. All right, guys. So now we're on to my favorite segment of the show, bedtime stories. And the first one, I'm horribly allergic to dogs and my boyfriend has just moved in with his Labrador. I thought I could handle it by taking medication and hoovering loads, but it's literally killing me. And I spend all day, every day sneezing. I feel like I can't really ask him to get rid of the dog, but I don't know what else to do, Leona. Babes, I feel you, because I actually had a friend and she had a girlfriend and she hated the dog, like absolutely hated the dog. Like, she was like semi-plotting killing this dog. Like she literally was like this ugly ass dog. So I feel you on that. I can't relate. I love dogs, but I do understand because I've got a cat and the fur gets everywhere. I have to hoover like 3 times a day. It's a nightmare. But if you love this person that you're with, you'll accept the dog. Do you know what I mean? Like, you'll just stick with it. There's nothing you can do. I mean, Labradors, how long do they really live? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I know it sounds bad, but like, they're the big dogs. Like, their life expectancy is like 12 years. Like, I think you can deal with it. So yeah, suck it up, babes. If you love your boyfriend, you'll suck it up. And maybe get to love it. Take it for a few walks. Do you know what I mean? Give it the time of day. You might learn to love him. I'm moving house this weekend and the only person who was around to help me is my ex. Babes, I'm not having this. I'm not having this. We haven't really spoken or seen each other since we broke up around 4 months ago. Initially, I thought it'd be fine as we had a pretty amicable split, but he started getting a bit flirty and it's making me think he wants to start something from this. What should I do? No. All right, I'm going to tell you the 4-month thing. Like, my ex-boyfriend came back to me after 3 months with the whole, like, I miss you. I miss hearing your voice. Like, let's hang out. Luckily, I was not in the country. So I was like, we're not hanging out. And thank God I didn't, because now he is seeing someone else. So that's my opinion to you. Like, that's my advice to you. Do not do it, because I think, like, guys get this thing around 4 or 5 months, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. There'll be a point in every man's life where they come back to the girl that they lost and they'll go, oh, actually, I've realized that I want to get back with her. Do not do it, babes. And like the flirting and stuff like that, it's just because it's comfortable, in my opinion. Like, I think sometimes when you see your ex, it can be a bit flirty and stuff just because that's what is normal and that's what feels comfortable for you both. But unless you have had a clear conversation, don't take anything from that flirty interaction. And yeah, don't let him fucking move your shit out your house, babe. That's like, you're supposed to be moving shit out somewhere and you're moving him out. Like, it's weird. Ask your friends, ask a moving company, ask your family. Don't ask him. I've been with my boyfriend for 6 months and it's going great. Good for you. We never argue and get on so well, but recently I've seen he's been liking a lot of OF girls' posts. Is it me? It doesn't bother me as much. It's just that all the girls he likes have enormous boobs and asses. Oh, it's definitely me then. And also resemble his ex. I'm 5'0" and flat-chested. I can't help but let this bug me. I've been badly hurt in the past and I don't know if I should bring this up. Babe, 100% bring this up. Like, if there's anything in your life that you're uncomfortable with or have, some boundaries that you need to set, like, set them. Don't ever let your feelings go unsaid. And if he really loves you and it's worth it, he will understand and he will stop doing it, or he's not the right person for you, baby. You should never feel scared to say something. Like, that's, in my opinion, that's out of order that he's liking those girls' pictures anyway. Like, that would cause a serious argument in my fucking house. But yeah, definitely bring it up. Your feelings are valid. I went on a first date with a guy last week, and for some reason, I lied and told him I ran my own business because I was embarrassed about my actual job. Do you know what? I do this with OnlyFans. I'm like, I have businesses. I have many businesses. I talked it up so much, and now he's now texted me and asked to share my page with his friends who'd be interested. I made a fake Instagram page and everything before I realized how far this lie was going to go. How do I fess up, or do I just ghost him forever, even though he could be the one? Babe, ghost him. That is, you can't come back from that. The fact you even bothered making an Instagram page tells me like good for you, honestly, that you took the lie this far. That is some serious commitment, because I would just ghost. In my opinion, how weird is it going to be when he finally finds out at some point? Like, when are you going to tell him? Do you know what I mean? It's never going to be a good moment to be like, by the way, do you remember when I told you I had a business? I lied. Like, it's just never going to be like, imagine after a few drinks, you're like, oh my God, do you know the funniest thing? Wait, can I tell you something? I lied about having that business. That is never going to go over well, baby girl. Yeah, I would sack that one off, babes. But ghost it, pretend it never happened, and don't tell people you have a business when you don't. Or even actually keep seeing him create your own business. It could even be like just like a jewelry making business or something, like where you make little friendship bracelets and then be like, yeah, that's what I was talking about. This is my business. I sell friendship bracelets on Etsy. Like that, it doesn't even matter. It could be anything. So yeah, either make a small business quickly or just sack it off and ghost and pretend it never happened. Thank you so much, guys, for listening, and watch Bear Hunt now, available on Netflix. And please keep sending in any of your bedtime stories, because we love hearing your problems and I love giving you advice on them, even though I am not fully qualified. Love you guys loads. See you next week.